Oh, you know it's off the change.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone listening from wherever you are, and welcome to the Game Changer podcast, Off the Change. We're your host, Steph Sanders, and
Kristy Nong. Hello, everybody.
we want to thank everybody for listening, and we want to thank our sponsors, HMR Property Solutions, LLC. How are you today, Kristy?
I'm super excited about our show today because we got some of the best people on the planet and some of the funniest people I know. So Today is going to be the Comedy Roundtable, and let's have our guests introduce themselves.
Yeah. Guests, please introduce yourself. Starting with Lance. Mr. Lance Woods, please introduce yourself, please.
Like you just did. But hey, Lance Woods, hey, shout out to everybody. I love everybody on here. Hey, I didn't know you niggas had sponsors. We got to renegotiate the contract of what I agreed to do. They start shouting out sponsors and co-hosts, and we're doing it big around here, man.
Thank you. We try. Next comic, please.
Hey, Carlos Rodriguez here, I guess. So there it is. I introduced myself, Sacramento comic, talking shit. Oh, can we cuss?
Yeah, you cuss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, these niggas got sponsors. They can introduce us. They got the money to do it.
Wait, their sponsorship?
They got sponsors. You ain't hear them shouting out the sponsors, Kev?
Man, we
got sponsors in there and say, introduce yourself. It's like when you go to the church and the pastor say, look to your neighbor and say, neighbor, nigga, I pay my tithes. You tell my neighbor. All the money I done put in that bucket, I'm not saying nothing else.
That's why this was not a good idea, Kristy. This was not a good idea.
They're running ads.
Except for running me my change.
They running ads when I'm trying to introduce myself.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, we introduce young lady. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Becca Henry. I'm a comedian in San Francisco. I also host burlesque and do storytelling because I need a lot of attention.
Wow. All right. We didn't know about the burlesque. And we
is burlesque the titty show?
Oh, man. We just lost Disney.
Be. Sometimes. It depends on the style.
We just lost Disney as a sponsor. We just lost Disney. All right.
Disney don't like titties?
World famous. We got our last comment. Come on, introduce yourself, please.
Hey, I'm Mikey Winfield. You guys may know me from BET's Comic View. I did a 5-minute set in 06, I believe. Yeah, I think Cheryl Underwood was the host. Me and her don't get along because she did things that she just shouldn't have when we were at Pepper Bellies. Thank you, everyone.
So you got a suit like R. Kelly then. You got it. Me and you did the same year, Mike. And yes, she was the host. Wesley Snipes was the host. I'm sorry. Cheryl Underwood was the host. But last but not least, we got another comic in the building. Introduce yourself, please.
My name is Regina Gibbons, comedian from Sacramento. That's it.
Sacramento in the building. Sacramento. But thank you very much. All right. Welcome to
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I like that a lot too.
That's it. Regina Gibbons, comedian, Sacramento. That was a Monday Night Football introduction.
My blood.
Period.
My blood is not in my brain right now.
That was Suge Knight introduction. That was this thug right there. All right. Welcome to y'all. Thank you for joining Off the Change, commonly known as ODC. First question for all of my contestants, all of my guests today. Are you taking the vaccine?
Regina, you got to sleep upside down.
Shit, I'll take it after other people take it after Mikey and Lance take it.
So Mikey, Lance, y'all taking the vaccine?
Listen, man, you're not finna have me talking about what I'm not gonna do when these white folks hear me and say you ain't gonna do what, nigga? I know how this game works. Check this out. I'm not excited about taking anything. Let's say that. Now we got to be prepared to not take it. What if they start saying you can't go to the grocery store or to fly or get on the plane without a vaccine? We got to be prepared for what come with that. So my answer is, nigga, I'm leaving this show.
Carlos and Mike, you taking the vaccine?
Yeah, I'm taking it. And matter of fact, everyone should take it because I own stock in Pipster, and so I need everyone to get on that. I need everybody to go ahead and, matter of fact, take 2 doses.
Oh, yo, Becca.
I honestly am undecided. I was just reading something yesterday that was talking about like the scientific process of the vaccine and how like what processes were rushed and which parts weren't, which made it sound more responsible, but they're really good at doing that. So
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know. I don't know.
Okay, that's a Kyrie Irving answer. Okay, Mikey.
Yo,
Mikey.
so man, this
Take it.
is great to find out Steph is the feds. So man,
Yeah, Mike.
for real.
The
So
first
look, man.
question he asked is how our day was, breakfast. Y'all taking the
Nothing.
vaccine? Y'all doing ET call? Nigga, what is going
Right.
on?
I'm
Then
just
that
here so I don't get fined.
that button started flashing on the side that said recording. Hey man, look, the way I feel about it, I'm actually administering the vaccine. So man, you guys should
Oh my God.
take my vaccine that I've created and it can save lives. So man, just hit me up. I can hook
Oh
you
well,
up.
now I'm sold.
It don't
Yeah.
even cost that much.
You don't want to worry about your government shutting down your states, giving you
Right.
vaccines. Come to death row.
Yeah.
You know,
Yo.
co-pays.
Yo, okay, so look, check this out. We're all comedians on here. We all in the comedy scene, and COVID has affected us all differently. So I want to
Yes.
know, each of you to think about, how did COVID affect your comedy career short term, and what do you think the long term effects will be for comedy in general and your career in general?
Well, for me, I guess I'm gonna be the first. I'm first all the time now.
You
You're the
have to be.
opener. You're the opener.
Oh
It's
my
wide open.
God, my eyes are still closed. Actually, man, you know, I have something to fall back on, so that kind of helps. But I know comedy can affect a lot of people when that's their only means of resources and stuff like that. But it's like I keep doing the open mics and stuff and doing shows as much as I can to stay relevant and keep myself oiled and everything. But the COVID has slowed down a lot just when I was at the peak of everything, you know. And a lot of people were like going right into a movie and some other stuff bigger than myself. But it kind of like put a halt to a lot of things. And so, but I'm able to regroup, keep writing and stuff like that, and just try to do Zoom and just try to stay relevant as far as keeping my my practice up and you know, so I don't be so dry when the economy opens up. I don't think we really gonna open up to like next year, so I don't know. I might be talking to myself and y'all for a couple more months.
I'm glad you staying oil too. I'm glad you staying oil.
I gotta keep oil my
anybody
engine.
else? Anybody else? Wide open.
You gotta stay oil. You gotta stay. You can't be out here dry.
You can't be out
Blue
dry.
magic oil, Lance. Blue magic
You know what
oil.
I'm saying? You gotta have that watt when comedy open back up. You can't be out here.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
No fresh.
All right.
The blue magic, it stinks. Let's
Yeah.
stay on subject.
Yeah.
Blue magic or coconut oil magic? Which one?
Somebody a little more sane. Go ahead, Carlos.
Ain't Blue Magic the shit that Frank Lucas was selling?
We not dealing with Frank Lucas right now. I'm
We talking
losing
about the
my
one with the
sponsors.
for the hair.
As we talk, I'm losing sponsors.
Has anybody got it? Did anybody get COVID? Did anybody?
I thought
did.
just anybody got Blue Magic.
Yeah.
I did. I had COVID.
Yeah. How did it feel for you?
Well, how did it feel?
I mean, yeah, like, well, because like I got it too, but
Your
like the way it
experience.
happened for me, it was like it
Funny.
came. Go ahead. I'm
So,
sorry.
funny thing is, I happen to be asymptomatic, and so, but they said I could have had it for 6 months. And who had my daughter actually got it because she was around me, and she was symptomatic. She had symptoms, so they said it didn't happen to young people that often. Man, I witnessed somebody who could not even walk. She had to crawl to the restroom, crawl out of her bed. So it was bad for like 3 weeks. It was 300, and so I was asymptomatic and still felt sick. So I know and can imagine somebody with symptoms.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I had it for I caught it at a we do that depression and suicide prevention comedy thing that we have. And so we have dinners first before it, so everyone can kind of, if the new comics come in, we can chat and try to get each other, feel each other out, you know, so it's not like such a downer show because it's a sensitive subject. But the lady came from Utah and we had a dinner on Monday. And I didn't find out until Friday that they were like, oh, she tested positive. You might want to get tested too. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then, but everything happened for me. A symptom that happened every 2 days. It was super weird. Like all of a sudden for 2 days I had a headache and then that went away. And 2 days I had a body ache and then that went away. And then I lost my taste. And then And then they said on day 10, it's supposed to go down really fast and rapidly, but I wasn't getting well. And then I couldn't breathe. I went to the hospital, went to the ER, and I had to write down, I had to text it out because I couldn't talk, because I was out of breath. And then, but they told me that the COVID was pretty much about to leave, but it left me so weak that I couldn't fight off anything else. And I got pneumonia. And so I was, so I was down for an extra like a week and a half.
Wow.
But
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hey, I'm glad you're here, brother. That's
me too.
Wow, Mikey.
That's crazy. Did you get on the road right after?
Yeah, I went back around. I went out. I went back out because on top of that, I went out. Yeah, and then I lost hella weight. I was like, I'm a bad bitch right now. I got a show. I had hella clothes. Yeah, I was like, I got a show that I fit in this new hoodie.
And you figured you can't get it again for 90 days, so you're like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah. So I went up to because Vegas is still open, and luckily I'm in a couple places in Vegas. Yeah, so I got to get up. I got to get up over there, and because COVID definitely did shut down a lot. Like everyone's was in their peak or getting money. And then this all came in and it completely wiped everything out. And then on top of that, you got a whole bunch of comics that can't be creative, so they're stifled. And then I see a lot of dogs eating dogs out there where it's like it's just like dog eat
give them some blue magic.
Oh yeah.
That's how the virus got here. It was dogs eating bats or something like that, right?
Oh, you know what? We lost Pfizer. We lost our medical sponsor just then.
But how do you feel about the Zoom shows? Like, because I see people. I don't do Zoom shows because I don't have that. That's not the gear that I wanted to ever work out. Because I feel like that's like if I wanted to be a YouTube star, I'd have been a YouTube star. Like that's that type of thing. And it's like I like stand up. I like the instant gratification, and then also too like as soon as I hit something, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna add this on and bop.
Hey, Carlos, you can't pose a new question. We didn't finish the first.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
It's the COVID after effect.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Carlos thinks he's
brought
the
to you by
moderator.
Bang.
I didn't know we had another host.
Brought to you by Bang. Everybody,
we got
I got a sponsorship. I got a sponsorship. I got to
can't stand up on Zoom.
We got another host, Kristy. We got another host. All right, Mikey, what tell me about how it affect yours? How
hey man, COVID affected me, man, because I rediscovered I had a family. You know, man.
Right.
Everything got canceled. I got a dog and shit, so I've been walking my dog, man. I got a kid. Wow. I was like, so being around the house a lot took a real toll, man. It was in a positive way. Yeah. My wife and I, man, we discovered our old spark, and then that kind of ran its course. And now, man.
So you say you're having another kid.
Man, that's what it's been. But I learned that the importance of something that I have done in the past is produced content. And the reason I'm saying that is because my entire streamline of income didn't halt, because I still had stuff I put out. So I might get a stream here or residual there. And it just shows, man, like just keep creating, because it's going to have other stuff happening for you. So, that's been my experience. And hey, Carlos, I love the Zoom shows until I do a regular show, and then I hate them bitches.
Oh, man.
All right, Lance and then Becca.
I like Mikey. Not that I discovered I had a family. I discovered a lot of my girlfriends had families. a lot of my hoes was married. I had no idea,
man,
that these bitches was cheating on me with their husband.
With their husbands. How dare them?
They can't answer FaceTimes no more. Now I hear a bunch of, I'll call you back. I get the text back. Like, I talked to you in September. Like, it was crazy. So that part was interesting. As far as comedy goes, the same with Mikey says. Like, when you got other stuff going on, you don't realize how valuable this stuff is, because it's just a part of, like, it's just adding on to it. But then when this becomes like the main source of income, and then you see when you feed into it more, how much it grows. Yeah. So, I've been doing a lot of internet stuff, a lot of unconventional things that I didn't do. It was just, comics had to make a huge pivot. And it's dope to see how comics are pivoting. 'Cause I know a lot of people, man, who just come up with great ideas and created new shows and that are going to stay even once whatever's going to happen. We still going to have these now new sources of not just income, but ways to express our creativity and put our art out to the world. So
well said, Becca.
Yeah, my experience with COVID and comedy, I think it's been a little bit different. I think I might be one of the newer comics here. I definitely have not been doing it as long as you guys. I also realized,
what you mean by you guys?
You people.
Like for real, like what's up with that?
What you trying to say, girl?
There's no way out of this for me. So I'm just gonna fall on my sword.
Zero.
And keep talking.
Yes, keep talking. Go ahead, Becca. It's a safe space.
So
for
I've
white
been doing
people
comedy.
today.
I've only been doing comedy for about 3.5 years. So when it first started, it was like I just kept doing things like you were all talking about. I was doing Zoom shows and I was, trying to make stuff. And then I had a meltdown. I think a lot of people have had meltdowns, maybe a couple.
Right.
And I intentionally stopped doing anything for like 2 months, which was actually ended up being really good for me to take a step back. Because I also realized that before the pandemic, I didn't do anything else. I did my day job and then I did comedy. And that was literally it. That's it. I didn't have a family like that I rediscovered, just my cat. He's been really grateful about that though. So I just needed to take some time. And so recently I've been getting back into it, and I agree, the Zoom shows are great until you do a real one and you're like, what the fuck is this? So it's been really interesting, honestly.
I'm glad you mentioned the mental health aspect because a lot
terrible.
of people did not take that into effect. And people don't want to admit during COVID, you may have had those moments. I've had a couple.
Yeah,
I had to break down as of March, April, May, and it got to because it's different when you want to stay at home and then when you have to stay at home.
Yes.
And so when that becomes that, and you're single or you don't have an outlet of interactions with people again, and it's and I didn't have it with jobs or anything. It does some things to you. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah.
That's been like the worst aspect for sure. And I used to work in treatment centers. I have clinical training. I know a lot about mental health, and I still was like, what?
yeah, I get it. Thank you.
It's been gnarly. Yeah.
Thank you, Kristy.
All right, so another question for you comics. What has become your favorite non-comedy activity during COVID? Like, did you take on any new hobbies? Like, you started baking like all them IG bitches, showing it online. Like, did you get creative with something? What have you done? Let's start with you, Regina. Lance, you want to take over first?
Yeah, go ahead. He got that coconut oil in his scalp.
He got that blue magic with the grease.
He got that blue magic.
You feel me? So during COVID, I actually I went back to school, and I went to Harvard because they was offering classes online. So now you're actually speaking to a Harvard graduate.
Wow.
Yeah.
So okay. In what, Lance?
Huh?
In what?
What you major
in what? No, right. What was the major? what was your major, and what was this degree in?
In Harvard.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's good, Swiss Beats. That's good, Swiss Beats. Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to talk to the uneducated, but I'm making an exception on this day.
Thank you.
I never want to people. But, so I'm now a Harvard graduate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Okay, thanks, Lance. Let's go over to you, Regina. What you been doing, girl?
Girl, well, actually, I've been a mobile hairdresser, actually. So I've been going to people's house and doing their hair, putting their wigs on, because I got a lot of clients.
That's dope.
Huh?
That's dope.
I said, you see this? I need some help.
Girl, yes, I can mobile. Where you stay at, girl?
She got the headache. She got the head and make wigs out of. That ain't no.
Yeah.
She is the one they make them from.
I can give her some highlights. Okay.
Okay.
But anyways, well, I've been doing the mobile thing, and I try to do some real estate. I'm only in the 3rd chapter. I've been in the 3rd chapter since March. So yeah, y'all pray for me because those vocabulary words is a motherfucker. Okay. I'm like, this is like speaking Spanish. Y'all pray for me. I'm trying to get a background, of real estate and do something extra. I don't know for times like this. But yeah. But I'm about to start my Zoom up when I come out of my depression. Not my Zoom, but my sketches and stuff. And because I do get depressed, like it's it's genetics. I know how to handle it. Smoke a lot of weed, take 3 naps a day, and by the end of the week,
You'll be
so
all right.
I've dealt with depression all my life. Like it's genetics. So a lot of people don't know how to deal with it. I do. I know what I have to do. I know I have to get rest. Don't watch Facebook. Don't watch what other people doing. It wrecks your nerves. Like, oh my gosh, Carlos, he's in Vegas. I'm supposed to be in Vegas. No,
That's
sit your ass
thing.
down. Yeah, so sit your ass down and write and keep writing. Pay attention to yourself and stay healthy until the COVID let up and do my little open mics and shows when I can, when it's safe. All right, I'm done.
Good.
Okay, thanks, Regina.
Holla.
That's some good advice. That's some good advice, and we appreciate that. All right, we're gonna move it over to you, Carlos. What you been doing?
I've been pimping.
Why you ain't call me, Carlos? Why you ain't call me?
Because game recognized game. I don't want you taking out the stable.
I know, right? I'll take some out the stable. You already know.
You'd have been like, listen, bitch, why you with him? You should be on this side.
Right. Damn it.
You're like, I can get you dental and I could put the wig on you. So and then what this motherfucker doing for you?
Right. I got lace fronts over here. I got the lace front.
No, I've been actually I had to for a minute my sleep is still messed up, but I was like days were melting into each other and stuff like that, and I deal with depression too, and so I had to start making a schedule for myself. So I had to like make myself wake up, and then I like as we were talking earlier,
right.
I started getting into stocks. So I took this unemployment money that we got, all this free unemployment money,
right,
and I dumped it into stocks, and I started figuring out how to work that. So the stock market opens at 7 or 6 in the morning, so you have to be up. So I was like, all right, let me get up and see. And then after that, I started doing it like school. I started cutting up my day in hours, so I'd have classes. And in my garage, I made a little gym or whatnot, and I got a guitar, I got a piano, I got a saxophone, and I was like, so an hour of guitar, hour of piano, and then I got to exercise for an hour and a half, have lunch, come back, write for an hour and a half, and then I would do and then I learned French because I got that Duolingo app, and then I started learning French, and then
right.
So then my day would end around 4 o'clock. Yeah, but the monsieur, je ne parle un français, and so I started getting real good at that.
But yeah,
that pimping in French was that?
Yeah, I gotta get international hoes.
Trying to get French hoes.
I don't know what he just said.
Oui, pee pee.
Carlos should close us out with something on his guitars.
Oh, me? I don't know.
I think that's all motivation.
What happened?
All right, Mikey, what you been doing?
What I've been doing is since I'm home, I've learned to fix stuff. So I've been fixing faucets. I can fix anybody's faucet, and I'm proud to say, you guys, I just got my carpenter's degree from Stanford. So man,
Harvard and Stanford, we got Ivy League on here.
Right? No, man, but seriously, like being my favorite thing, and man, I really miss one thing. I really miss is Regina's sketches. So Regina, man, like if you could get back on that, get started, you bringing joy to the world.
Joy to the world.
And man, here's my latest biggest thing, because I'm trying to not quit comedy, but I'll explain. I've made my wife a day trader. So now she's obsessed with it. She knows how to make money with it. So she's been doing this, and I'm trying to make it so that I can do comedy for fun. Not just for the check. And she's really excelling. She's excelling at this.
Great.
And she's occupied and busy. So that's been like one of my new things.
Tell my girl what's up. That's my home girl right there.
Yeah, I will.
Your wife. Tell her what's up.
Yeah, your wife, not the side chick, the wife.
The wife. I don't play with Mikey's wife. She'll beat a bitch ass.
Yeah.
Sure will.
I don't play with her.
She
She'll
sure
be like,
will.
hey girl, hey.
I
Like,
shut
no,
up.
I don't
I
want
shut
Mikey
up all
now.
the time.
I was like,
I
don't
shut up
nobody
his
joke.
wife.
Don't nobody joke around right now.
His wife around, I be sitting up straight. I be having all my hands on my lap.
She
I'm
do
like,
not play.
yep. How you
And
doing,
I love
Mr.
that.
Michael Winfield?
Yeah.
I
Yes,
say
yes.
all his full name.
Yes.
How you doing, Ms.
Let's get
Winfield?
ma'am and
Yeah.
shit.
Walking into heaven.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Okay, thanks, Mike. We're gonna move it on over to Becca. Becca, what else have you been doing? You talked about your burlesque earlier. You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Please do.
Oh,
And
sure. I actually have done some of that. Not
If you want to show some
exclusively.
titties, we're not gonna post to that either.
not hers. I'm talking about the art of her show. Let's have some.
I only heard part of that because it cut out. Something about titties, but it's always about titties, isn't it? Everything's about titties.
From Harvard. From Harvard.
From
Yeah.
Harvard. Sure.
She was saying
Yeah, I have
there was some
Harvard
pictures.
titties. I have a lot of books behind me. You don't know. These are educated titties, okay?
See, and that matters. That
Got a
matters.
whole library.
Yeah. No, I host for this group that's based out of like the Monterey area, and so we've done some virtual shows. I even went down there and we like filmed this whole piece that we it was almost like a musical, but it was burlesque that we wrote together, which was awesome. That was a big thing to have like a creative project to work on. So that was really cool. And the dancers that I work with are all like classically trained dancers. So they do burlesque, but they also do ballet and tap and modern and jazz. And I don't know how many categories of dance there are because I'm not a dancer, but there's a lot of them. So that was really helpful to have that kind of creative project. Otherwise, I've just been existing and trying not to die. That's been
That's good.
so
We
a lot of
appreciate that.
Weed has become my pastime now. I get really high and I eat really fast because you can only breathe like just enough to not pass out, and it like perfectly mimics being choked during sex. So
Wow.
that's become.
Wow. And I bet you didn't learn that at Harvard. I bet you didn't learn that at Harvard and Stanford, did you?
Those people
And
are
scene.
dirty.
And right.
I learned that last night.
An entire education institute. We pity ourselves smoking
That's
a
great.
for
That's
a long time.
Wow.
There's a lot of education here. I love it.
Love it. Wow. All right.
All right, Steph, we're gonna kick it back over
So-
to you.
I got a comedian question. And people ask me this all the time, so I want to ask you guys, what's your writing process like, and what type of comedian would you call yourself? Observational, topical, mixture, but what's your writing process like? And anybody can start this. Let's start with Becca.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. My writing process is pretty chaotic because I'm a very chaotic person. I would say I'm very observational as a comedian, and I tell like a lot of just of like my life experience and my worldview. So my writing usually involves like, as I'm going about my life, I'll think of something or something will happen and I make notes for myself, and then, oh no, of course I did that while I was talking. I use my hands too much. I'll make notes myself, and then I'll come back and like write it out and try and follow like where the joke is. And I usually do that several times with the same joke just to see if I'm getting like the best from it. And that was one of the things that taking some time away from comedy really helped me with. I realized was I came back to jokes that I had like just started working on before the pandemic that I wasn't like super happy with, and rewrote them in ways that I felt was better because I gave myself some like distance from them. So that was really helpful for me anyways on a personal level. So yeah, that's more or less what I do for my writing.
Perfect. That's good. Carlos.
As I say, it's so funny because my process has changed throughout the years. So it's like I always try to explain.
That's why
I always try to explain people like I know how to write for 25-year-old Carlos. I know how to do a setup punchline and get people to laugh, and then all of a sudden, that's when I got 30, and then all of a sudden like 35-year-old Carlos know how to write for 30-year-old Carlos. Like I knew how to mix in opinion in there and also my own little kind of voice and whatnot. And then now that I'm older, I go, oh, I know how to tell a story now, an anecdote with all these other things. So my writing process sometimes is like, I'll think of an idea and then I'll have to cut it up into fun-sized bites and feed it to people because, you know, and so and then on top of that, since I have all those other tools and gears, I could sprinkle all that stuff in just to get the point across. And then it's such a fun challenge to try to make something that's completely not funny be funny, and like only comics can kind of get that because it's like it's the challenge. It's okay. So really quick, I went and I watched that chess show, Queen's Gambit.
Gambit.
Dude, I go in stand-up comedy. All you have to do is plug in comedy into the chessboard, and that's exactly how comics think and talk and associate. All we do is break down moves and idiosyncrasies that each other have, and studying, and so that's I get all goofy at it. I love stand-up science. I get who else is good at that too? Big J Hollingsworth loves. We just like just breaking it down all the way and get nerd about it. But it's fun, man, when it works and you figure it out.
I think that in itself is of a process too, Carlos. People get better doing that. So good comics do that. Or some people may stay. We all know comics that may have stayed in the same place of the roach joke, but they don't go anywhere with that joke. So yeah, I like that. Thank you. Mikey and Lance, it's gonna be fun because I write with you guys. So what, and we've written over the years. Mikey, so
man. My process has changed, man. I do what Becca does. No, man, seriously.
He writes for white girl, brother. That's a white girl. I write as a white girl.
It's all in my head now, man. I put it all in my head. I just carry a book around, but it's empty. Right. So, so I give off the illusion that I'm writing all day in a book. But hey, man, it's funny. After you reach a certain years, I will say this: it's supposed to come a little bit easier, But man, I'm gonna share my struggles. I was talking to my brother today. Like, I can write any joke. I just, I'm on the fence of, do I need to write more relevant? Like, do I need to write what people would consider more important to like the world? And then, his advice was like, just don't force anything. Do what you do. And so I'm sitting on that. And basically, that's where we are right now.
And would you consider yourself topical, observational? What type of comedian would you consider
man,
yourself?
see, that's the thing, man. I got my own lane. And plus, I can't do it. It feels like it's other people who has to, say he's this type of comedian. So
I get
it.
Yeah.
Lance Woods.
Yeah, I think if I had to describe what kind of comedian I was, I would say the best.
I love it. Didn't learn that at Harvard.
My writing style is I always like to I write in bullet points. That's just how I write. So it's like if I write, I'm just looking around my house. If I say water bottle, then all of the stuff will come to me associated with that. But I can't write out every word and the punchline. Just it feels stupid to me.
Monologuing it, and I don't like that monologue.
Right.
I tried it early, and I feel like I was putting myself in a box. Like, even though I wasn't going on stage reading it, because I picture what I've written. So I picture it and I go. So if I see the bullet point, then I can just go off of that. I do a lot of writing too, just in conversation, talking to people. So it's two different conversations. You have the talk that you have with comics, and comics be talking, and that's that. And then when you just talk to civilians, right?
Yeah.
You talk to them, and then you say stuff. See, this is the thing about comics. This is the superpower is we don't know what was funny, what we said.
Yeah.
That's just us. Like, I just say stuff and that's just me, and then people laugh. So I say, oh, okay, people laugh at that. I got to put that down. That was a real thought that I had, but apparently that's a joke to everybody else. Yeah. So you don't always get that talking in the comics, because comics be like, yeah, nigga, for real.
Yeah.
Okay, right? And then comics watch a whole special like this.
Yep. And we got that
Watch a whole you watch a comic for an hour and a half and won't even smile and be like, yo,
that was dope.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's so funny that you said that too, about like when because we have a different type of thought process, and like when people like hear us talk, like start speaking on some knowledge type of shit, they're like, oh wow, I didn't know that you knew that. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm well-rounded. I'm supposed to be well-rounded. That's the job. Like I break everything down like a Lego castle, bitch. Like, you know. And another thing too that you do too, Lance, because we have the same type of like, you know, comedic type of thing going on, is we write a lot on stage. Like all of a sudden we can start going off, and then before you,
So a part of the writing process is recording yourself and listening. Because you know once again, you be saying stuff and it's just you. And then it's been a million times where I listen to a recording like I said that.
Right.
That it's like
or someone tell you, hey, remember when you said that thing that like that's hella funny. I said that.
It'd be like, bro, I'm talking about stuff jokes that you don't even think about, and somebody come up to you and talk about how that joke changed their world. Like, bro, that wasn't even. Because honestly, then it's just for me. I don't know if this happened. I'm sure it has happened to y'all. The joke that you write, and when you done, you like, nigga.
Right.
Richard, who?
Right. Right.
And then when you go sitting on the stage, the crowd is like,
what was that? Yeah.
Right.
And then the throwaway joke. And you say the throwaway joke, and they
dying.
You the next Leonard Bruce.
Right. Spiking the mic.
Yeah.
Hey man, what you said was important though. I think the really important part of what you said was listening to the recording.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to just have them joints in your phone and never go through them. But to actually listen to it is the work.
Yo, I was guilty of that my first 5-6 years in comedy. I hate listening to myself. So I
could tell.
I never did.
Oh my God.
Hey Mike.
Yo.
How long did it take you to stop cringing when you heard yourself?
Hey man, look, I got over it early because I used to leave dumbass voicemails on the answering machine. And so after a few years of that, I was used to it once I started comedy. Yeah. So that part, I got over it quick.
Because this the crazy part. When you first start hearing yourself and you like cringing like this, and then when you start to hear yourself and you listen like, yo, this dude's pretty good. I'm a huge fan.
Right.
It's because man,
my shit was reversed. My shit, like I when I first started doing stand-up, I was like, I'm doing it, like I'm killing it. And then like 2 years later, I'm like, you're a hack. You're fucking so bad. Like, why are you up there? Like, and then it's still hard for me to look at or listen to myself. I'm like,
Hey, what's the science behind that though? Why don't we sound like we sound?
Oh, we mean like our voices sound completely different from when it's audio?
Absolutely.
I think it's because I'm sorry, go ahead. Somebody else.
No, go ahead.
No, I was thinking that because I think the bone structure and all this shit right here stops the volume or takes away by the time it gets from ear to ear, which is weird.
Middle ear,
well,
outer
you're
ear,
hearing it differently, You're hearing it like coming through the bones of your skull as opposed to hearing it like bone conducting sound is a thing. That's why they have those headphones now. But it does sound differently. So you're hearing your voice out loud as well as like through the vibrations in your skull. So it's gonna sound different than when you're just hearing the projection of it.
It's like putting a speaker inside a shoebox and then turning it on. It's like it's a muffled sound.
Yeah, I mean we don't think about that dumb shit at Harvard.
He said no.
Thank you.
Either.
We just
got to pick up the medical. All right, Regina, what's your writing process?
Oh, well, actually, so I do it like a presentation, sort of like what Lance was saying, the bullet points, because I have ADHD. I can't write the whole paragraphs and summary. So for me, I write a topic. I write a few ad libs, like different ways I can tell it in different rooms. Like, what would I say in this room? A conservative room, to an urban room, like something they can understand, because I'm trying to learn both ways, because I want to be, international and do all the different rooms. So, and I listen to my recordings and stuff like that. But basically, I'm a freestyle comedian. I know how to, I'm a freestyle rapper, not a freestyle rapper, but a freestyle comedian. I kind of just go with the flow. Like, I don't know, it's some type of gift the guy gave me. I could just get up there and look at Steph's hat or his nose and get up there and think of something like, I'll talk about penises today, whatever,
My nose look like a penis. Thank you very much. We just lost our last sponsor.
Yeah. I can't keep still, y'all. I can't keep still. So my brain does. Huh?
I said, but Steph gained Blue Chew as a sponsor.
It's like, well, yeah. I mean, sometimes I will try to practice and stuff like that. Like Mikey said, after so long, it's like it just becomes it's like after so many hours, it's just like you become natural. So I will take like a few topics with me, like write them down, different subjects, marriage, EDD, a couple of topics, and I can kind of like freestyle and whatever. And if it goes great, I keep them. It's just a life experience. I'm just going with the flow. Like I put myself out on the edge when I go out there. Sometimes I don't practice at all, and I'll go do a show and I'll do okay. But sometimes I practice and I still do okay. So it just all depends on the day and the time and everything. If I'm PMSing, if I just broke up with my boyfriend, I don't know. So it has to do everything matters when I go to the stage. So I don't know. I take my bullet points.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
In case I get stuck, you know what I mean?
I love the emotions though, that you're putting into Regina. I like that.
Thank you, girl.
But you know what? I think we should ask Trojan to be.
Yeah.
We're talking about
to
penises
sponsor
a lot.
me.
Trojan, I think Trojan would be on board.
She said like the battery's about to die.
We're gonna keep.
Oh, good. I thought it was me.
So,
You don't got Duracell,
I
girl?
was just
You don't got
learning
the
how to.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Can y'all hear me now? Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we've got Trojan on board, we're going to keep up with the comedy realm. So who were your inspirations for comedy, or who is currently your inspiration?
For me?
Lance is my
Okay, let's go Lance. Let's have you go first, Lance.
My inspiration for comedy? That's interesting. You said, no, I'm sorry. You said who was my inspiration? Who's my current inspiration? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Who was your inspiration for comedy, or who might be your current inspiration?
Oh, man, so many people, man. I hate naming people. Always feel like
Don't hurt no feelings.
It ain't about hurting feelings. It's just so many people. I be wanting to name everybody, man. I'm inspired by all of y'all. You watch your peers. Like before I started, I'll say this. Before I started, when I seen Kings of Comedy, that changed my life.
Yeah.
When I seen Bernie Mac's the Def Jam set, the one, I Ain't Scared of You Motherfuckers, that check, I watched that set 5 million times. Mitch Hedberg, I used to watch Mitch Hedberg religiously on YouTube. When I discovered Mitch Hedberg, I just was on this search for Mitch Hedberg stuff because he's like so hard to find and stuff. And then once I started, and it was those guys, and there was other guys too. Those we name people all day. And then once I started, and then you start to see what goes into it. So then that's when you get a deeper appreciation for Tony Roberts and O'Neal and Dave Chappelle and Richard Pryor. And then, like I said, my peers, you guys, people like Kev on stage. There's a lot of people, man. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
That's great. All right. Let's kick it over to Carlos.
Okay. My inspirations, when I first started at 3, I didn't really know at the time, but
well, tell us your expirations.
My inspirations. Did I say expirations? Did I? Eddie Murphy was a big influence because the way he did his stand-up, and it was when he said the last joke, I'm like, it's over. Like time just disappeared, and so and he did characters, and he was hilarious, and then and really quick on his feet. I don't know, in Delirious when some lady in the audience says, she said, "We love you, Eddie," and he was like, and then some guy in the audience says, "Fuck, shut up, bitch." And then Eddie Murphy, without missing a beat, he says, "I'm also a ventriloquist." And I was like, damn, that's so funny. I was like, that was just so smart. And then so that cat, John Leguizamo was also a big influence. I didn't realize it till later on. Because
I can see that.
Characters and his, act outs and committing to it. Because like when you commit to a joke or an act out, it's the best thing ever. Because it's just like, you get to disappear. And then I didn't realize it also until later on, because I used to watch Def Comedy Jam religiously, but Martin Lawrence was a really big influence. Because Martin Lawrence, he wouldn't do the same set twice. Because he was the host. So every time I seen stand-up, I always seen everyone do different sets. So I thought that's what stand-up was. So I always did different sets until like, about a year in. They're like, you can do the same things over. I was like, that's cheating. But like, that was a big influence on me. And then now, when I got into it, like Lance said, everyone's an inspiration too, because iron sharpens iron. So I always want everyone to be better around me, or people that I hang out with. And that's why like I hold writing sessions back at home when I'm home, so my community could be better. So when I get to the mic, I could be scared, because I need to be scared. I like being scared. I like the challenge. Like Mikey said, it should get easier for you as you get older in this game, and it does. And I don't like that. I want to keep challenging. I want to keep getting better. You got to keep going to the gym to stay healthy. And so, and then one of my big inspirations right now too is Bill Burr, because Bill Burr is like, right now is like, he's saying shit that people don't want to like or agree with.
Courageous.
Yeah, but the way he's saying it though, it's like, I don't agree with you, but I get your point, and that's funny. And that's such a great thing to do. It's like, because before I get out, this time right now that we have, people get on social media and there's no repercussion for how they behave and talk, so there's no one getting punched in the face. So it teaches everybody to not have a conversation, but an argument or debating. And on top of that, they're debating on shit that they don't even believe in. They just read other bullet points, so they think they sound interesting. And I'm like, fuck all that noise. And I like that Bill Burr is like, we're gonna dead that shit right now. And I'm a big fan of that. Yeah. So, and scene.
That's
all I do is Carlos want people to get punched in the face.
Yeah, I do.
In other words,
there's a gang of people that need it, like especially comics.
Your inspiration right now is Pernell Whitaker. Somebody's fighter. Yeah, go ahead.
Not even comics, they're just people that aspire to be stand-up comics. That's what pisses me off. It's like people that go do karaoke, they're not singers, so why don't call themselves singers?
That's good.
That was good.
I love karaoke, by the way.
Yeah, but you're not putting on your Facebook, I'm a singer. Motherfuckers over there going to do one mic a year and like, I'm a comic. And it's like, bitch, you ain't got no 1099s.
At all.
You ain't paid tax on this.
That's why they didn't get no EDD.
Right.
That's why I got my EDD. I was like, they were like, okay.
That's why they didn't, because a lot of comedians don't file taxes, which is fine when you first start and everything. First 2 or 3 years, you hide your money, but after a while, you better go on and pay them damn taxes. I'll pay comedy taxes to bring down my salon taxes. I'll put on all that. I use that. My gas receipts and all that shit to bring it down. But a lot of comedians didn't. They didn't file their 1099s and they couldn't get that EDD.
A message from Regina Givens, y'all. You understand me? We dropping knowledge and nuggets here.
Yeah, taxes.
That's right.
Right.
All right, we'll get back on track. Becca, who were your favorite inspirations?
Growing up, I actually watched a lot of British comedy. I'm not entirely sure why. That's just what like my dad and my uncles were watching. So, and then I actually lived in England for a little bit, and there's this show. Now I can't even remember what it's called, but it's like a political comedy show, like news show. They do a bunch of different things, but one of the parts of the show is because they're all stand-up comedians that are the like hosts on it, or most of them are. And there's this part where they all do stand-up based on a prompt that's given to them from like a screen behind them, and it's all like topical, like pop culture news stuff. And it was just always so amazing to watch them come up there and be so quippy and quick and knowledgeable at the same time. And that was one of those things I would just like watch clips of that on YouTube, like, I want to be that quick and smart and funny. So that was definitely so a lot of those stand-ups, like, I don't know if anyone knows Russell Howard. He's a British stand-up. I think he's just so funny and charming.
Wayne Brady. I know Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady isn't British.
Whose line is it anyway? That reminds me of whose line is it anyway?
Love Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
And also a big person that I think of now, like when I'm thinking of like what I want to move towards and emulate, honestly, is Hannah Gadsby. And I know that she's really controversial and a lot of people don't like her and don't consider her a traditional stand-up, which I think is silly. But the reason that I do like get inspiration from her is because she talks about how, especially after like Nanette came out and then she did Douglas, she talks about how all these people are telling her that she couldn't do her art the way that she wanted to. Especially men were coming at her like, this isn't comedy, you're not a comedian. And she was like, why do you get to tell me what my comedy is? Why do you get to tell me how I do my art? And I love that, because like kind of like what Carlos was talking about, there's so many non-comedian comedians who have this very specific idea of what comedy needs to be and how you need to do it, and they love to tell you that you're doing it wrong. And why does anybody else get to decide how we do it? And like exactly what you're talking about, like we should be finding new ways to do it and new ways to challenge ourselves and new ways to say things. And so in that regard, I find her very inspiring.
Bravo. Yeah.
Hey Becca, can you do a good like British accent from watching all this British comedy?
Sometimes I can, but never when someone asks me.
Not on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah, on the spot.
Maybe sometimes podcast you just throw it in. All right, how about over to you, Mikey? Who's been your inspiration?
Del Van Dyke.
Sorry.
You know what? Show's over, ladies and gentlemen. Show is over.
Hey,
sponsored by Del Van Dyke Comedy Class.
Hey, look, man. I grew up watching a lot of Def Jam, you know, and a lot of Martin Holston, a lot of Chris Rock, man, a lot of those guys. And it's just weird, though, man. It's weird. Like that's what I loved, and it's just what I've turned out to do. It just feel like it didn't go down anybody's, like, I don't know, like I love what Earthquake and Bernie Mac was doing on them stages. Like I was loving it. And then I look at my comedy, man, and it's weird. I'm a super fan of it. I love my comedy. I just don't, it just I don't know.
Not your lane.
But man, what I really got inspired by was hip hop, the energy associated with it. And it was that energy of just like, yo, swagging out, doing whatever it is you do, and becoming great at it. And that was kind of a big push to me in stand-up, is like, hey man, you know, you can take your own thing and just learn it the most and go that route and just master whatever that weird shit is that you do. So yeah.
I like it. I dig that. All right. Last but not least, Regina, how about you? Who are your inspirations?
Monique, some more, like Melody Camacho, a lot of the female comedians that were in the Comic View. So yeah, I kind of like, you know, I like badass hot women, you know what I'm saying, with a little muscle in their legs and their arms like me, you know what I'm saying? You know, a little gangster, you know, rare breed. So, and then, so when just like Lance was saying, when I seen the Kings and Queens of Comedy, that kind of inspired me, you know? And one time I auditioned one time, but I didn't know I was a comedian. And they, you know, I auditioned for something, and they was like, "No, you didn't get it." I'm like, "But I'm funny. I'm really funny." You know, they was dragging me out the door. I'm like, "No, I'm really funny." You know, so I was like, that was years ago. And so then I seen Cat Williams. I'm like, "Oh, Cat Williams. I want to be like Cat Williams, the female version of Cat Williams." You know what I'm saying? Because I can relate and all that. So a lot of people inspired me as far as comedians, especially in the Black culture. But right before I started in Sacramento, I want to say Mikey Winfield inspired me, because he had already started, you know, and Sacramento was kind of small. And you know, we didn't have a whole lot of comedians, you know, that were really working around that time. So I would say Mikey, he really inspired me. I was like, oh, okay. You know, I was liking what he was doing at the Punchline and stuff like that. So yeah, I look up, and so now
you
everybody
inspire me too, Regina.
Thank you. So all you guys inspire me now. Steph, Lance, their work ethics. Everybody works hard. Carlos, we all end up somewhere meeting. We'll be out of town meeting up. Like, y'all here too? Like, we really all grinding. So I like to stay around comedians that's working and that's grinding, instead of sitting around comedians that's just smoking weed and chit-chatting all day. So, yeah.
Yeah, like, cause I'll put Regina
hard-working comedians inspire me. That's what inspired me.
Because I'll put Regina on a show too, with people that can kind of get her somewhere too further, like with Jack. Like when I was like, oh man, Jack Dorian's in town. I was like, Regina should be on this show, and then now she's over. She gets to go to the Ha and get up whenever she wants. You know, so it's like always trying to. That's another thing too. I'd be inspired to help people or try to do some other things too. Because comedy saved my life. Like we're talking about Bernie Mac, or everyone's talking about Bernie Mac. Like that set saved my life. Like I was pilled out doing coke and drinking, and it was my last time I was out. It was about 8 years ago, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching that set, and I'm like, dude, like I've had that happen a couple times where it's like you're just on a great set and having a fucking, like you're taking the audience here and over there, and I was like, I do this, I do that, and then I realized I don't do that no more. I sit here and I drink and I do coke, and I don't go on and do stages no more. And I was like, I like doing that. I don't like doing this. And so I just decided to change, and that was 8 years ago.
I love it. So not a DJ saved your life, but Bernie Mac saved your life. I like that. I like that. All right. So, Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and you know, you look up to comedians that are aggressive and stuff like that. So like, I used to have to have a drink before I start my show, or go out there and smoke with the boys and all that. Then I'm looking like, okay, I don't see Lance or Mikey and Carlos. And they know, wait, hold on, I need to pay attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially when you're young, you like pay attention. Like you can do that after you perform. You gotta really pay attention and ride with the winners. You know what I'm saying? That people that can help you grow in this game. So now I'm to the point where I don't have to smoke no weed before I go on stage. I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. So we all kind of feed off each other and grow. So I'm to the point like I don't want to be drunk on stage. You know what I'm saying? I might could take a shot and be done. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning from being in with a aggressive group.
People don't understand how much that affects your performance when you need substances to be in front of people.
Yeah.
I never smoked weed, period, but I wouldn't, especially before a show. Heroin, that's what I fuck with.
Yeah.
Because it's mellow. Because it's a mellow.
That evens you out. That evens you out. Yeah. I like that Breaking Bad. I like that.
Nah, Breaking Bad was crystal meth.
Oh yeah, that's what Mikey does. I got it.
Blue stuff.
Oh my God.
Hey, more blue meth.
So check this out. Before we go, we got one last question, but before we do that, so we are a show that has we have 30 minutes of funny. We do 30 minutes of a topic and so forth. So you are our funny, but you guys brought up some great topics. We are a foodie show too, because me and Kristy are both foodies. That's how we met. So we have a dinner party question for you. Kristy, go ahead and ask the dinner party question. It's the last question.
All right. Because now we want to know, if you had a dinner party and you can only invite 3 people,
dead or alive,
who would they be and what would you be serving?
Dead or alive.
Celebrities, famous, comedians, what?
Any people, any 3 people you want to invite.
No,
dead or alive.
Anybody.
And what are you serving?
Your choice. All right.
I can't wait to hear this.
Who would like to go first?
I'll start.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna be the least interesting. I would like to have it with my family. We're gonna have Vietnamese vegetarian, and a couple of the kids can't come because you said it's only 3. So it's gonna be cool to let them know that they weren't included in this, and we get to tell them the story afterwards. So
I love it.
I love it. All right. Excluding the kids. I love it.
Carlos, I can't wait to hear I want to hear Carlos. Carlos.
On to you.
It's a good question. First, it's so funny. You talk about foodies. I have a joke about foodies and how I'm like, it just bothers me. Foodies. It's like they're like, oh, I'm really into food. I'm like, guess who else is? Every fucking body. You think we like McDoubles? Let's just look at more. I'm in. I guess what? I'm in the air, motherfucker. No, I'm trying to think. Okay, so I would definitely have Jimi Hendrix kicking it, and then I would have I'd have Eddie Murphy, and then I was trying to think the last one, and I'm like, man, who would the last dude be or how last chick be? I'm trying to think. I don't even know, man. I don't even know.
You know I cook, right, Carlos? You don't want to invite me though, like.
Oh yeah. If you want to come, come hang out, and then. You can hear
forced herself into the 3.
Yeah, she's like, that actually sounds like a cool ass party.
This our show, Kristy. This our show.
And then I guess for dinner, I'm all ketoed out, so it'd have to be barbecue and vegetables. So
okay.
Okay. All right, Becca, who would your 3 be and what would you be serving?
Okay. I always hate this question because I want to have dinner with everybody. I want to invite everyone. But I narrowed it down in the like 30 seconds that I had to think about this. And I recently watched Love on the Spectrum. I don't know if anyone else has watched the show. If you haven't, you should. It's so awkward but wonderful. It's like the sweet. It's about people on the autism spectrum trying to date. It's great and
hilarious,
uncomfortably relatable too. So I couldn't tell. I would have any 3 of them over for dinner, and we would talk about how difficult dating is. And I would feed them, I don't know, whatever they wanted. Probably just like chicken and rice or something, because they all tend to be very picky. But
hot Cheetos.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Just crumble some hot Cheetos on top
on everything
of your chicken and rice. It'll be.
Yeah. Throw that in a food processor. You're good.
Okay, Regina.
Okay.
Awesome. Boom. Drink it.
Let's see. Hey. So I would love to have Tupac there. You know, Tupac.
Oh,
you know.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
We'll bring him back on out the grave. Come on out there. You know. So. And I would love to have Red Fox at my table. I would love to have Red Fox at my table. And maybe Nipsey Hussle, you know. And I would, for all those guys, since they, you know, got it going on, I would make a jailhouse spread with a little, you know, red Kool-Aid on the side.
Wow. You know what
I'm
kind of concerned about?
With the noodles and the cheese. What?
So I'm kind of concerned that you know how to make that. That you know how to make. I'm kind of concerned that you know how to. I just learned.
You know, I
new.
dated some thugs. I done dated enough thugs. You know.
Ooh, I got it. I got my 3rd.
They told me about it. They told me about it.
Carlos, who's your 3rd?
It'd be Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
I would have Whitney Houston.
Whitney.
Hell
and
yeah.
And then I
Kristy,
would
you just got kicked out.
I'm sorry. I have Whitney Houston, and we have bowls of cereal.
But you don't do cocaine no more. Hey, Carlos, you don't do cocaine no more.
I make an exception.
For the cocaine. You coming for the coke.
Don't relapse. Don't relapse, Carlos. Please, come over.
Lance.
Rest in
No
peace.
powder sugar on her cereal.
Right.
Well, if I got 3, this is easy for me. I'm going Tupac, I'm going Biggie, and I'm going Puff Daddy.
Oh shit.
Puff Daddy. Okay.
And this nigga will explain why he got y'all killed.
Yeah.
We not having dinner. We not having dinner today.
An explanation.
Ain't nobody serving nothing.
He said we can eat after.
Yeah.
Yeah, figure this part out first.
Oh my God.
He's serving closure.
Go ahead.
Biggie's gonna be like, hurry up and figure this out. I'm hungry.
Right.
I ain't eaten in years.
Oh my God.
Y'all
Hilarious. Hey, thank y'all so much for coming out today. It's our very first episode of this show. We hope to, and we want y'all to, we're gonna plug it on your by the way, tell everybody where they can find you. Everybody, tell everybody all your handles where they can find you.
Carlos Comedy.
On a lot.
Go ahead, Carlos.
At Carlos Comedy, and then the website is carlosishelladumb.com.
Mikey.
Hey, bigassteeth.com.
Lance Woods.
I just told you, Walmart. You're looking for me, I'm where the deals at, baby. Man, you know, listen, man, you know Walmart, these niggas be locking up the white t-shirts.
They lock up everything now, man. They locked up my socks, my knee high, my thigh, my little ankle highs and everything. No shows. Yeah, they lock up everything, brother.
Same with the Blue
the good
Magic.
liquor.
Yeah.
I know. That's
No, they have
cold.
the
The Blue
liquor out.
Magic.
The liquor be out. That's what kills the liquor's out, but the socks is locked up in a white tee.
Now,
Oh, the cheap liquor out. The cheap liquor out. Not the good liquor.
I don't think Walmart sells. I don't think
plastic
Walmart
bag.
sells 1942 though. I don't think they sell 1942.
They sell some good stuff. Martell and some other stuff is locked up.
Becca, what's your handle? Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah. So on Twitter, I'm at hiss bang bang. And on Instagram, I'm B Henry. And I like to sell my Instagram by letting people know I'm clearly not getting enough attention from doing comedy anymore. So I post a lot of thirst traps.
Wow.
Do with that what you will.
I'm going
I
right
did the same
now.
thing. I did the same thing right now. No.
Right now. Regina Givens, tell them where they can find you.
Hold on.
They can find me.
My bad. You said B. Henry?
Yeah.
BEHENRY.
Hold on. Say it again.
Ooh.
B. Henry.
B-E-E.
Harvard, you can spell.
Did I mention we're a dating show too?
B-E-H-E-N-R-Y.
You got it, boo. You got it.
That's Tinder spelled backwards. That's
Already.
Tinder spelled backwards.
Regina, tell them where they can find you.
Well, you know, I got that good old ADHD, so my name's Regina Givens on everything. That's I can't remember all these damn nicknames and passwords. So Regina Givens on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all stuff. Regina Givens, and my website was built, but I paid the guy. It's half done, so it's reginagivens.com. CUM. He didn't finish it.
Oh my God! With that, thank y'all very much.
He black too.
Thank
Took
y'all.
my damn money. All right.
I want to confirm that yes, Becca does post a lot of thirst traps.
I see. Yo, everybody, we are offthechange@gmail.com. Our email offthechange@gmail.com. IG offthechange_show at IG. Please follow us, like us. We'll be on YouTube soon. We're on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, and everything. And I am Steph Sanders at Twitter, Facebook. Kristy Nong, where are you?
I am at Foodie Nong, so FOODIENONG on IG.
Girl,
follow me.
Okay.
And that's it. Over and out. We are off the change.
Okay.
Off the change. Off the change.
Okay.
Off the chain.
She sounds like she can cook too.
Off the change, like change in your pocket.
Okay.
GA, and it's off the change. We'll explain that later.